What's up, YouTube? Bay Area Baller back again. Today is going to be another edition of Bay Baller Takes Callers. I'm going to be taking your calls. The link is in the description. But first, I got to touch on this Colts game. All right. It was Sunday night, right? You all were watching. It was piss and rain. I was out there. I was at Levi Stadium cheering on the team, trying to get this squad going. But unfortunately, the offense couldn't do enough, right? The weather really affected how this game was played. I went live at halftime and I said, whoever can hold on to this game is good. Whoever can hold on to the ball is going to win this game. Quarterbacks were dropping snaps, receivers dropping passes. Emmanuel Mosley dropped a couple interceptions. So it was like, can we hold on to this football? But unfortunately, we couldn't pull out the win. And we lost 30-8 to the 30-18 to the Colts. And the first drive, we came out, scored a touchdown, right? There was a lot of under center. We're running the ball, play action, getting some easy completions. Eli Mitchell scores the touchdown on the first drive. And the second drive, you're thinking, okay, who punched the ball out? Josh Norman punched the ball out. We got great field position, right? And why did we get away from what worked on the first drive? The first play of the second drive, we ran the ball 12 yards, first down. So I was like, okay, I like it. And then we go shotgun. Kyle, why? Why, Kyle? We had success running the ball under center, the play action. We go to shotgun on first down, and it's a drop by Debo. Then Jimmy misses a read. Debo's open over the middle, and it really just stalled the offense, and we had to settle for the field goal. But that second drive was really frustrating because we knew what was working, under center, running the ball, play action, and Kyle got away from it. So it's just an example of Kyle. When you got something working, stick to the script. Let's check out this chat. What's up, Chewy and Alejandro? What's popping? You don't know which one's in the chat, but what's popping? Shardal sees that. Hey, it's a new one. You know, I only had like 3 49ers hats in my arsenal, so I had to cop a new one so I could switch it up a little bit. Amin, what's going down? Secondly, is Kyle Shanahan playing the best players, right? JaMycal Hasty, we activate him off of IR, and he's getting snaps ahead of Trey Sermon, okay? JaMycal Hasty did absolutely nothing in this game, all right, except negatively impacted. He wasn't running the ball well. Jimmy tried to throw him a wheel route. JaMycal Hasty fell to the ground. Hasty had a false start called against him. So really, what has Trey Sermon done to fall this low on the depth chart that you're playing an undrafted JaMycal Hasty who just came off IR? It doesn't make any sense to me, but I got my first caller ready to roll, and it's the only way you can start it up. It's with my man, E. Kim. E. Kim, what's popping? Hey, Kim, I know I can trust you, but just so I with Jesse and what Grant are doing, right? I got an overlay that I'm gonna put up here. Let me find this thing. But you look great, by the way, E. Kim.
Thank you, sir.
There we go. What's going down? How you doing, Kim?
I'm good. I could wish to have that red dot like Pinor, but
I know Pinor's clutch. It's the 49ers colors. It's bright. But hey, I figured I would load up this Golden Gate Bridge image, right? You like that? How's that overlay looking?
Looks good. So, got a couple points.
I'm pretty frustrated, man. So, I don't know what you got for me, but
got some points that some people would say would make me a critical fan. First point from the Indy game is you and I both know that Jimmy is always good for a suspect play or two, and he made those suspect plays with the interception, and I think that one fumble, if I'm unless I forgot the game. And you always know in those kind of games when weather is a factor, ball security is point number one.
Hey, Kim, you brought up the interception, and we're talking about the first one, right? Where it was 3rd and short, and we're throwing to Debo, right? On the quick hitch. All right. I have a problem with that, okay? Because you can tell that was a predetermined read by Jimmy Garoppolo. As soon as he snapped it, he's looking left, looking at Debo. So it was a predetermined read. That's where he was going with the football. Debo is our stud wide receiver. But the corner was pressed up on him, Kim. The corner was playing, I wouldn't call it press coverage, but he was playing up tight on him. So if you're throwing a short hitch route, throwing it against a pressed corner is not ideal, okay? I would look to the other side, which had the bunch, and as it's been going viral on Twitter, Mohamed Sanu was running wide open for a touchdown, and Jimmy never even looked at him. So it's like, what are we doing, Jimmy?
Yeah, to me, that's just more of look at the whole field instead of just saying, hey, I see Debo with, I can't remember the corner. I think it might have been Rhodes over there on Debo, and that was...
It was. Yeah, the pick six.
Yeah. So, also, to me, I don't understand if something's working like on that first drive where you're running the ball and getting, 5-6 yards a carry. Why are you getting away from that? You're doing the same thing you did in the Super Bowl when you were still getting 4 to 5 yards a pop, and they haven't shown anything to stop it yet.
Yeah, it was like in the Super Bowl, we're running these jet sweeps to Debo that were just gashing the Chiefs, and all of a sudden, in the second half, Shanahan doesn't call a single one.
Yeah. So, but to me, I see this game against Chicago. I'm not going to the game because I don't want to watch bad football, and it's getting kind of cool here, so that's another thing. But to me, the first team that scores 17 points, I think, will win the game because for Chicago, for their season so far, they have not scored more than an average of little over 14 points a game. If you can't get 17 and beat them, we got bigger problems than that, because I see this season as kind of doing the Wile E. Coyote off the cliff, and that cliff is not coming up anytime soon.
Hey, the 49ers are playing a rookie quarterback, and not only a rookie quarterback, one that we passed up on, right? Kyle and John, they said, no, you know what? We don't want Fields, all right? For whatever reason, whatever their reasoning was, right? You cannot lose to this rookie who you said, no, we are not drafting this kid, right? As you mentioned, Bears are averaging 14.5 points a game. That's terrible. That's atrocious, all right? So the 49ers starting Jimmy Garoppolo, they better win this game. Otherwise, Shanahan's seat, it's already heating up. You're finally hearing fans saying, fire Shanahan. Look, it's right here. It's coming out now. We had a lot of patience, but, I mean, shit's hitting the fan, Kim.
This is very true, and to me, this is the 5th year of Kyle being the head coach, and you should have a team that's at least a perennial playoff contender. And Kyle, you bring back players that are continuously injured or they can't stay healthy for whatever reason. I love Trent Williams, but if he misses this game, that's 2 already, and it's not even halfway into the season yet. I understand that sometimes you'll miss a game or two just for whatever reason, but you can't be expecting a team that you want to contend for at least a playoff spot to be missing those kind of key players for periods of time.
It sounds like we might get Trent back. We still don't know yet, right? He's questionable. But yeah, we could absolutely use big Trent Williams at left tackle.
So,
and yeah,
couple points. Jalen Moore from the Colts game, he played pretty admirably. I didn't see anything that was horrible or jumping off the film as being that's bad. He was pretty solid, and to me, he's no worse than McGlinchey. I would put him over McGlinchey on the right side any day of the week. Just say, hey, see if you can win the spot and take it over.
Yeah, McGlinchey's going to be a free agent here pretty soon. So if you're talking about paying McGlinchey and re-signing him, whether it's, tackles get paid pretty well, Kim. So would I rather give McGlinchey 15 mil a year? I'm spitballing here, but would I rather give McGlinchey 15 mil a year or shift over Jalen Moore to right tackle and free up that 15 mil to spend elsewhere? Because we got a lot of holes on this team as our record's proven right now.
And this kind of echoes into the last point. Right now, our franchise is a 5-alarm fire. We have John Lynch can't keep his mouth quiet or say, hey, that's a nice question. I don't want to answer it at this time. And we have Parag Barath, who's giving all these bad contracts at all these times. Robbie Gould next year has a $5 million dead cap hit if we cut him. D Ford has a big, dead cap hit. Eric Armstead. I mean, I can't blame the players for getting paid. Good for them, and I'm never going to say anything bad about them. Get the money when you can. But, you had a chance to take advantage of Jimmy, letting him go and, putting Trey in and giving him all these reps and snaps and seeing him improve game by game. You can't expect vintage Tom Brady-like performances from a rookie. That's not possible. And also, the defense, I think, is in shambles because we don't have cornerbacks that are making, veteran cornerbacks that are making first and second year mistakes. To me, we can't be having all these.
But Kim, when are they going to learn from their mistakes? It's like, how many damn times are we going to maul a receiver 40 or 50 yards down the field and just give them free yardage? Like, how many times are we going to do it before they learn their lesson that, no, you can't grab a wide receiver when the ball's in the air?
It's not like the 70s when the Steelers had Mel Blount and he was just mauling receivers off the line and they couldn't get 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Those days are long gone, and bless Mel Blount for having a rule named after him for that. But we can't be, right now, this upcoming offseason, we're only going to have 40 players on contract with an unknown salary cap for 2022. There's going to be a lot of rebuilding going on. I don't want to say that R word, but facts, the facts are staring us in the face.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of free agents. And guess what, Kim? We don't have a first round pick to address a need or what. We don't got it.
So that goes to the next problem. The next big problem is when you want to retool and rebuild, you need those picks. And I think we're going to give Miami a really good first round pick on a quarterback or Kayvon Thibodeau or Derek Stingley or somebody like that to improve their defense, because that pick could have been something that we could use for our team too. And I can't trust John and Kyle with another 5-year rebuild. You've already been given 5 years to try and build the first 2 years, I get it. The team was not a good team and you were going to try and get good players with those picks, but you've had 5 years and you haven't shown us that you're going to build a perennial team that's going to make deep playoff runs year after year for a certain period of time. I don't think we can.
We can't even get back-to-back winning seasons, Kim.
Nope. And then that goes to the root of the problem, which is Jed and the York family. Because can you trust the Yorks to make a good decision on a coach and GM? Because Jed has an exceptional record on bad coaches, and then he let the only good one in our lifetimes go, who had all those wins.
Yeah, he couldn't get along with John Harbaugh, who was the best coach that he had hired. Like, look, figure it out. Work it out. Your coach is winning games. We're making the playoffs every year. But no, they had a beef, and we know that ended up with Jim Harbaugh going to Michigan.
Yeah, so I can't trust Jed to make the next potential hire, no matter who it may or not be. But then that just leads us kind of back to square one, where our team is in shambles and, remnants of a burned down building, and we need to do what we can to get it back up to being a nice looking skyscraper or whatever we want it to be. So,
Kim, I think you gave me a preview. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to root, to me, I just want to have a team that has very little, that's just simmering along. Nothing, no major drama or major negativity. Something that we we can watch. If they play tough and hard and they lose close game, I won't like that, but that's just part of the game. You're not going to win every game, and I just want a team that's going to give everything and not beat itself.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And earlier you said the first team whoever gets the 17 points is going to win this game. So now, Kim, I got to ask you, who's that team going to be?
As much as my heart tells me it's not the 49ers, my brain tells me it is. So the 49ers will eke it out 20-17.
I like it. I also have the 49ers win it. And I think, Kim, maybe I'm being too optimistic. I think we're going to find a way to win it. Maybe not handedly, but I'm going to say like a 10-digit win. I'm going to go 27-17. Niners pull it out.
But here's what I see as two issues. How the Chicago Bears can't protect Justin Fields because their offensive line are a bunch of tomato cans.
Thank
you. We also have
for bringing that up. Jason Peters is like 40 years old. He's going to be trying to block Nick Bosa. Good luck.
Also, our run defense is not very good, and they have I can't remember his last name of the Bears running back. I believe it's Herbert, and he's been running very well for him in whatever bits of games I've been able to watch. And he's been running reasonably well for the Bears. And to me, there's no reason for Justin Fields to be launching 50-yard bombs if they'll be able to get 6-7 yards a pop on a run.
I agree with you. But actually, the Bears have been taking a lot of shots down the field, which we know has been our Achilles heel for this defense. Are these cornerbacks playing these long passes down the field? And then before I go to the DB disciple, OG, he's next. But Kim, we see our corners getting, these PI flags called against him. Why aren't we doing something similar, Kim? How come we're not taking these shots down the field, trying to get the same thing? We want some free yardage too. All these teams are getting free yards on us. So it's like, Kyle, open it up. I don't know if it's Kyle or Jimmy. We got to take some shots down the field because even if you're not completing it, as you can see, DBs have a tough time playing this ball while it's in the air.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that could happen to a defense for the offense? You get a defensive holding or a pass interference. You get the easy first down. I mean, they make the
even if it isn't like if it gets intercepted, you're throwing it 40 or 50 yards down the field. It's similar to a punt in that situation.
Yeah, all the rules right now are currently towards the offense and the passing game. Why? To me, I'm not understanding why Kyle doesn't, or Mike McDaniel or whomever on the offense isn't wanting to take advantage of those rules. I don't understand that.
Yeah, you know what I didn't like? Emmanuel Mosley in his press conference, he came out and started talking like, these wide receivers, they can do stuff to us, but we can't do it back to them. Like, that's the wrong mentality to have. That's how it's been in the NFL. Receivers in the offense, yeah, they get a favoritism, but you got to know that as the corner, and you can't touch these receivers 40 or 50 yards down the field.
Yeah, it's one thing if the refs are letting you play and a little bit of hand checking and something like that, but you know that you can't be
hand checking. K'Wan Williams just bear hugged the receiver.
Yeah, it's not like those days where Mel Blount was just mauling receivers and preventing them from even making it a yard down the field. I love to have those days back, but
I know Night Train Lane.
Yeah,
we don't know how he would be in this era.
I think Ronnie Lott would get a flag every game for every hard hit he would make because those are hard hits and he played on the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ronnie Lott I think he would still be a phenomenal player, but he would absolutely have to change his style of play. But hey, Kim, thanks for calling in and getting the show off to a good start. Do you have any last thoughts that you want to share with the Niner fan base? I don't hear you, Kim. Okay. Next up, we got the man, OG. OG, what's going down?
Hey, nothing much, man. And I'm hearing you guys talking about the DBs. Oh, my God. I mean, they have bad game, but this was absolutely pathetic. First off, who is the DB coach? Because I want to go and apply for DB coach because
That's
either
a
I
damn
either
good
I
question.
either I apply or I Kyle Shanahan, you call me. I'm ready to suit up, and I'll show you guys. You guys might be veterans, but I know how to play the DB position as well.
Corey Undelin. He's a native of Roseville.
And I'm gonna be straight up. He's absolutely garbage. Here's two things that popped up. They're playing man to man, right? For example, let's go to a particular play when Josh Norman got caught for that holding. That was man to man. Am I correct? Because that's what I saw.
Say that again on Josh Norman.
Josh Norman, he was man to man, right?
Yeah, I think so. On the PI.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, and this has been going on all season, and I've called this out, Bay Area. When you play man to man, we're coached to line up. For example, I'm lining up against you, right? Your right shoulder is to the sideline. Your right shoulder to the sideline. Your left shoulder is inside. I'm gonna guard your left shoulder, right? So my question is, why are they lining up on an outside shoulder when it's man to man when it's inside technique? That's how they're getting beat. If you really look closely at it, that's how they're getting beat. And then when they do get beat, they panic. That's telling me there's no discipline in their technique.
The Tart pass interference, absolute panic move. Absolute panic move. He had plenty of time. He was there before the ball was even remotely close to the receiver. It was in the air, but Tart had more time than he realized. He could have
Just turned around,
located the ball. There was plenty of time to do that, but no, he panicked, grabbed the receiver. Next thing you know, it's PI, balls at the 5-yard line.
Here's the other part. Let's go to Mosley now. Okay, I'm gonna go back to how I was coached and how I coached my boys when they played defensive back. We're taught when a deep pass, deep fade route, we're taught not to touch the receiver, but barely just feel where he's at, and then the receiver's gonna take you to the ball, but it's up to you to go and defend it. What Mosley was doing, he's doing is the everything right, except that he hugged him. So I don't know if he panicked on that play as well.
And Mosley dropped some interceptions, OG. One of them was right in front of me. I'm at this game, and the ball was thrown right at Mosley. All he had to do was catch it, dog. Catch the interception.
Exactly. Because that was an interception. He was in position. He was in perfect position. He didn't have to hug him. That was my beef. Now, I'm gonna try to keep my calm on this one. Kirkpatrick. I mean, I want to throw my hat down just thinking about it.
You know what? Kirkpatrick's the guy who's been pissing me off the most. Because Norman's getting flagged, but like the first series the Colts had, at least he's making plays. He punched the ball out, forced a fumble. So, yeah, Norman's getting hit with these flags, but he's impacting the game in other ways. Whereas Kirkpatrick ain't doing shit but getting torched and getting flagged.
Exactly.
That should be Lenore. That should be Lenore.
Exactly. And you know what, too? I showed that video to my boys of that Kirkpatrick play. I didn't even have to mention it to him. They go, why is he making a tackle? How come he don't go attack the ball at the highest point? That's how we're coached. Why didn't he do that? Exactly my point.
And even the touchdown that Michael Pittman had that kind of sealed the game for the Colts. Right? Kirkpatrick was in coverage on that play. And it's like he doesn't even try to explode for the ball. Like Pittman's big. Pittman's 6'4". Kirkpatrick's 6'2". So it's like, how can Pittman get up so much higher than Kirkpatrick where it's barely even contested? Like,
and it's like Wentz,
dude, make a play.
And like Wentz, you could tell he threw it just like hoping for a miracle, basically. Wentz threw it like, oh look, here it is, try to catch it.
Wentz does
it was
that
like it was
time.
Up there. And so it was like
Wentz move. Wentz throw it when he was at the Eagles. It was Alshon Jeffrey, where he just loves to just give his receivers a shot. That's the thing with Wentz. It's he'll throw it up there and give his receiver a chance to make a play.
Right. But this one was floating, so Kirkpatrick had a chance to explode to it. Why he went for the tackle instead, it blows my mind.
I know, OG. And what are you thinking now that Jaquiski Tartt's going to be out and Talanoa Hufanga is going to come in, fulfill that strong safety role? How do you feel about that? What have you seen from Hufanga?
I like the way he attacks the ball. I like that he won't do what Tart did on that, especially on that particular play. He won't do that. He'll look for the ball. That's why at USC he was a ball hawker. He was always around the ball. He kind of reminds me, and he would, even though he was not a Niner, but he was actually from Fresno. Ricky Manning. He kind of
Ricky
reminds me
Manning.
of him. Ricky Manning. He was the defensive back for Carolina back in, I want to say, the early 2000, late 90s, around that area. I believe. I couldn't tell you. I played against them, so over here in Fresno. But he kind of reminds me of that and Palomanga at the same time. Palomalu, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Big Troy, the Steeler legend. And what I like about Hufanga, OG, is that he's very instinctive. Like
There you go.
He's not afraid to jump a route, right? If he sees a route developing now, as you know, because I've given you the nickname of the DB disciple.
Right.
I know you've put in your work in the defensive backfield, but Hufanga loves to jump routes and anticipate, and that's kind of that double-edged sword, right?
Right.
There's a risk and reward to that. Maybe you can get beat by a double move, but he's got really good instincts. He's a playmaker, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes up with a turnover here on Sunday.
Oh, I think he'll come up at lead, but I think he's gonna make an impact on this game. That's gonna grow his confidence. But Bay Area, on this particular game, or if you even want to go back to the All 22, I think it's called. The one thing that also popped out: watch how flat-footed the DBs are. That blows my mind a lot when they get beat. They're flat-footed. Because I was always wondering, well, how are they getting beat so bad? Aren't you supposed to run with them? So look closely at their foot. The footwork.
That seems like some rookie shit, OG. Flat-footed?
Exactly my point. Flat-footed.
Like, come on.
I expect that from Thomas, but not from Norman. Not from Mosley. They should know better. And then I guess in practice this week, they're practicing jumping for the ball. That's high school stuff.
They were down the sideline. The coach is throwing up, 50-50 balls, and they're all. It looked good. It looked good on YouTube. They were getting their head around locating it. Now do it in the game.
Exactly. Mosley, the veteran, Josh Norman, especially the veteran, should know better than this. And then by them practicing, I don't know. I think it's high school stuff. That stuff taught we're in high school or Pop Warner. They should know better than this.
They should have been practicing this in the training camp.
Exactly. Because I know I coached my sons how to do it. I practiced with everything that was taught to me. I taught to them that everything, especially the jump ball. Even though my old, like for example, my oldest son wasn't that tall, but he always, and I was so proud of him. He always challenged 6-foot receivers. Always. Just practically smothering them, and that was what I was so proud of him.
Absolutely, and I know length helps in the cornerback room, but number one, most important to me, is sticky coverage, being able to locate the ball. Like, give me a 5'10" guy who can turn around, run with a receiver, and locate the ball over a 6'1" 6'2" Akello Witherspoon, where it's like, yeah, you got the length, but you don't got the skill.
That's where it comes down to technique. Lock onto the hip. That's why I'm so blown that they didn't keep Devontae Harris. I bet you that he was.
I know, that was your boy. You kept talking him up.
Exactly, and for them, I think they released him, right? I was surprised about that. I was really surprised.
You know what? We released him. Then I think we brought him back onto the practice squad. I don't know where he's at right now, but he's not on the field.
Now, as far as this Sunday goes, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I say 13-10.
Wow, that is low scoring.
Because I really don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not again, Bay Area, I'm not a Jimmy guy. I'm not a Trey Lance guy. I want somebody that's going to give us the best chance to win. So if Jimmy G is going to start, I'll roll with him, but it's going to be a low-scoring game.
It's possible. I mean, I can't say that the Niners are going to come out and set the Bears on fire and put up 35 points. How could I say that? That'd be far-fetched. So
Right.
That's very plausible. With Khalil Mack out, Akeem Hicks is banged up. Those are two of their top guys.
And this is Jimmy G's chance to show everybody, to prove everybody wrong.
Hey,
this is his chance.
I heard that he's got 100 tickets because he's from the Chicago
Right,
area.
right.
He's got 100 tickets of friends and family at this game. So I have a feeling Jimmy, he wants this one bad. But let me tell you something, OG. If the Niners lose this game, this has to be Jimmy Garoppolo's last start of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
Has to be.
Has to be. Not only that, Kyle Shanahan, I think he's gonna be like you said, his seat's gonna start heating up.
Scorching hot. But
Yeah.
we got to see Shanahan with Lance, right? We got to
Right.
see how that formulates. How does the offense run? But what was so disappointing is how Shanahan used Trey Lance against the Cardinals. He used him like he's Tim Tebow.
Exactly. I didn't agree with that game plan. I mean, don't get me wrong. Trey Lance did pretty good for taking a beating. I mean, that's growing pains. But he actually did pretty good. I just wish he would slide instead of trying to take on tacklers because this ain't college. This is the NFL. This is grown men sport.
You got that right, OG. Hey, I got no one in the waiting room. If someone wants to call in, go ahead. Click the link. I'll drop it one more time. I'm going to continue to chop it up with OG. And shoot, I got some notes here. Let me put, hey, Josh Norman got hit with a PI. K'Wan Williams hit with a PI. Jaquaski Tart, PI. It's like we can go down this list of secondary, and it's like, what are we doing?
They're not disciplined in their technique, Barry. They are not. And then for getting caught flat-footed, and then the way D'Amico Ryans, the way he said they panic, they shouldn't be panicked. They're veterans. This is why they're in the pros. This is why they made it.
Yeah, what do you think about Niner Gang's comment? I want to see more at right tackle. He looked good against Buckner. McFloppy's got to go. You know what? I'm with you, Niner Gang. I do not want to pay McGlinchey some big contract. Do you think, OG, do you think McGlinchey has earned a big contract?
No. I think he's gonna get released. I think he should get released. I don't think he even got signed. Didn't he get signed 1 year? They picked up his 5th-year option or something like that. I don't know how all that works, but they shouldn't have picked it up. They should have kept what's the name? Jalen Moore. Who played right tackle? Jalen Moore.
Jalen Moore played left tackle.
Left tackle.
Was at right tackle.
Okay. They should have. I don't know. I like Jalen Moore a lot.
Yeah.
He held it up.
You're thinking when Trent comes back, give Jalen Moore a shot on the other side. That was mentioned earlier.
That's exactly where I was going. But anyway, Barry, my phone is dying. But
OG, thanks for calling in, the DB disciple.
Hey, all I gotta say is the reason why I have the DB disciple name. Gotta get up to your boy Barry. He's the one that crowned me. So got to keep that up now.
Hey, when we're talking corners, safeties, you're the guy whose opinion we need, and you're spitting it out on Twitter. Make sure you follow OG on Twitter because he's talking about the cornerback room all night.
Here's one person I want to see get a chance, maybe even in this game. I don't know if he's in the active or what. Help me correct. Is Avery Thomas? I want to see if he improves. I want to see it. I mean, if he can hold his own,
can he do any worse?
Exactly. I mean, if he can hold his own, then I'll retract my statement I made about him. But I will give him a chance. Let's see what the kid got now. He's had plenty of time to practice.
Yeah. Yeah. When we drafted Ambry and I did, my abbreviated film dive on him, really, I wasn't that impressed with him, OG. I
wasn't really impressed with him
but he was getting for some big plays, and it's like, man, this is the corner we took in the 3rd round that's supposed to solve the hole we have at that position. And to me, Diamador Lenore is just head and tails above. He should be on the field. It shouldn't be Drake Kirkpatrick. It should be Diamador Lenore.
Why are they burying Lenore? Why are they putting him down the chart? I thought he was doing okay. I mean, I would have sold on him, but he was doing okay, holding his own. He was getting the experience. So I'm wondering why they're not going with that.
Hey, OG, before you get out of here, you said low scoring. Give me your score prediction. Who you think's going to win this game?
49ers 13-10.
I love it. Hey, OG, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, and I'll hit you up on Twitter, all right? We'll talk soon.
All right, see ya.
All right. Okay, let me get rid of this overlay. I'm gonna pull up the Bears depth chart. Let's scout the Bears real quick because no one's in the waiting room. Call in. Okay, where's this? Let's take this off. Let's share this one. Yeah. Yeah, this let's look at this. Bears got a horrendous offensive line. Let's pull this up. I mean, they got Jason Peters at left tackle. This dude is washed. Nick Bosa is going to kick this dude's teeth in. All right. Cody Whitehair, I think he's decent, actually. Cody Whitehair is decent at left guard. The center, Sam Mustipher. I'm going to say he's a bum because I don't know him. All right. So if you guys know otherwise, sorry, Sam, you're a bum. James Daniels, I know he's a youngster. He might be all right at right guard. And then Elijah Wilkinson. This D-line needs to tee off on Justin Fields. Right? You guys remember, you guys saw how, who was it? The Browns. Clowney and Myles Garrett absolutely just dismantled Justin Fields, obliterated him. That's what this Niners defense needs to come out and do. Who else they got? Okay, they're starting Khalil Herbert at running back, who's looked pretty good. Damian Williams, you know, the former Kansas City Chief. He's solid. All right, you look at their receivers who really don't do much. Let me tell you something. I drafted Allen Robinson in fantasy. That was my worst pick. Terrible pick. Because Fields can't get him the ball. Mooney's flashed. Marquise Goodwin, that's where Goodwin's at. Goodwin ain't done nothing. Cole Kmet, he's decent. He's decent. He's a big target. He moves pretty well. We talked about the O-line. The O-line's trash. Let's move to the defense. Akeem Hicks is questionable. Akeem Hicks is a monster. He's a really talented player. So if he's out, that's going to benefit the 49ers and help out the offensive line because I do not want to see Akeem Hicks lined up over Daniel Brunskill. Daniel Brunskill sucks. Hold on. I need to go full screen for this one. Daniel Brunskill sucks. I'm sorry. He should be like our sixth utility lineman, just a backup, right? He can fill in literally across the board. Someone goes down, okay, you put in Brunskill. And that's why the Niners went and drafted Aaron Banks in round 2. That was supposed to solve this hole at right guard. When you draft an offensive lineman, specifically an interior lineman in round 2, it's to start right away. So that obviously has not panned out. But I'm not sure Banks can be any worse than Brunskill. Brunskill's constantly getting pushed back into the quarterback's lap, not holding up on his blocks. I'm fed up with Brunskill. You know, I thought he did all right last year filling in at center, filled in admirably. But as a starting right guard, teams are teeing off on it. They're putting their powerful defensive tackle, lining him up right over Brunskill, and it's creating problems for this offense. So Aaron Banks, I mean, I'm ready to see Banks. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to this one. Eddie Goldman is a nose tackle. Bilal Nichols. Khalil Mack is out. All right. That's their big stud. Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith is a stud. I loved Roquan Smith coming out of Georgia. Man, I wouldn't have been mad if we drafted him. Roquan's a stud. Robert Quinn is back, the veteran, activated off the COVID list. Jalen Johnson, he's a young corner. He's solid. They got Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson is a really good safety. Eddie Jackson's good. And then Tayshaun Gibson's bounced around, but he's a quality free safety. But honestly, this defense, it's not looking really good. I mean, you're telling me Khalil Mack is out, Akeem Hicks is banged up. Jimmy, dog. Jimmy If you can't win this game, dude, you're done. Let's see what's going down in the chat. Akeem Hicks is on the downside of his career. He is. But Kim, when he's on the field, he's a talented player. I've always liked Akeem Hicks. Niner Gang says, they got a good one. Yep. Brunskill's a backup O-line. I agree. I agree, Kim. You know, he's a good utility lineman because he can play all 5 positions, but he's not a starting caliber offensive lineman. Banks isn't a bust. Can't expect him to lose weight and become a player he isn't. Banks is a mauler. So you're saying they should have never told Banks to cut, which I don't know. I don't know if they did, but it did seem like maybe he slimmed down a little bit compared to how he looked at Notre Dame. But man, I don't think Banks could be any worse than Brunskill. And if he is, I want to see it. Like, can I make that judgment? McGlinchey's just as bad. I mean, has McGlinchey been horrendous this year? He's been bad. He's been bad. I feel like we beat up on McGlinchey a lot, but he's good in the run game. He can get out, get to the second level, you know, pick up a safety, but pass protection, no, he's trash. I'd like to see Aaron Banks play right guard. He can't do worse than Brunskill. That's what I'm saying, Lotha. I agree with you. Is Aaron Banks really worse than Brunskill? I mean, Brunskill's putting some bad film out there. Yeah, see? Yeah. The momentum's coming. We want to see Banks, dude. You drafted this guy in the 2nd round. Show us why you drafted this kid. He should have started from the start. You know, I was at that first preseason game. Was that the first one against the Chiefs? I think that was the first one. And Banks didn't look good. That was the only time we saw Banks in a live game was against the Chiefs. He did get beat a couple times. And then he got hurt. He got slammed. It was like a safety or a linebacker just like slammed him, the bigger dude, onto his shoulder, and he jacked up his shoulder. So he was banged up in the beginning of the year. So I don't think he could have started like week 1 or week 2, but as far as I know, he's back and practicing now. Roquan's an elite linebacker. I really like Roquan Smith. Yeah, he's got the side-to-side speed. Just a phenomenal player. Okay, see, Kim's got the inside info because he's in the Chicago area. Eddie Jackson can't tackle, and the Bears fans are roasting him for that. Okay, well, the Niners got to find a way to expose Eddie Jackson's ability to tackle. You got to take advantage of that. But then again, that means Eli Mitchell or Jermichael Hasty. Can we get Trey Sermon the ball? Can we get Trey Sermon in the game? What has Trey Sermon done to fall this far down the depth chart? Shanahan doesn't want to put him on the field. I mean, I could speculate about what Trey Sermon might have done, but I don't like to speculate like that. Bye, Jimmy. Bye, Jimmy. I'm with you. If he doesn't win this game, Jimmy's gone. I'm done. I did. That's a big loss for the Arizona Cardinals. J.J. Watt out for the year. Absolutely. Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is still there, and he's a stud. And their linebacking core they got a talented linebacking core. They've really overhauled those linebackers. Jordan Hicks, Isaiah Simmons. What was it? Holland, the linebacker they just drafted. Either separated or dislocated his shoulder and still finished that game. He's a tough MF. JJ is. Yeah. McGlinchey was playing right next to Quentin Nelson. the best left guard in the NFL. So yeah, when you're playing with him in college, it is going to make you look better. That's a good point, Kim. Yeah. Yes, Niner gang. Peters is washed up, all right? This dude, nobody wanted this guy. He was sitting out in free agency. No one wanted to touch him. The Eagles, no one wanted to touch him last year. And then the Eagles got hurt, and they signed Peters to fill in at guard, believe it or not. They signed Peters, and I don't think Peters held up last year. I think he got hurt again. Woo. But that'll be something to watch. I think Bosa's going to have a day. And let me tell you something with Fields. I liked Fields in the pre-draft process, but the biggest knock on Fields, in my opinion, is that he does hold the ball. He likes to hold it. He really likes to see his receivers open. He'd like the tight windows. He doesn't like to make the tight window throws, not quite yet. You feel like as he will gain experience, he'll get out of that and realize in the NFL, look, tight window throws, that's what you got to make as an NFL quarterback. A running back tandem of Mitchell and Sermon would elevate the run game and keep them both fresh. JaMychal Hasty ain't the answer. I know a lot of Niners fans do, or some Niners fans do like JaMychal Hasty. I've always been a bit lower on Hasty than I feel like kind of than the consensus of Niners fans. He is quick and shifty, but Hasty, he's got limited, like no patience to me. He's got no patience. Like some runs are designed to go outside, and he's always cutting it back up like too soon. Like he's trying to cut between offensive linemen. Like break it outside. He's always cutting it too quick for me. So Hasty's patience is something that I'm not a fan of. Yeah, he's shifty. He's a jitterbug. You give him an option route and he's one-on-one with a linebacker, he can win that. So I'm not saying Hasty is useless, but Trey Sermon is just the more electric ball carrier. Sermon's averaging over 4 yards a carry, and we can't give him the rock. Do you think Kyler Murray will play next week against us? He was hobbling off the field pretty bad. Rob, I did see that at the end of the game, right? As soon as Hopkins, like what the hell was DeAndre Hopkins doing last night? Like the game's on the line. They're looking at you to throw the ball. Excuse me. Sorry, not Hopkins. Sorry. AJ Green, right? Kyler Murray's trying to get the ball to AJ Green, and AJ Green never even turned around for it. Like what was going on there? And then Kyler Murray came up lame, limping off the field. I think he's going to be fine, Rob. Kyler Murray, he's going to be fine. He's going to be causing problems. That dude is just a jitterbug, man. You think you got him, and he's just so tiny and so quick. It's like you're chasing around like a cat. You know what I mean? You got this fast cat running around all over the place, and you're trying to grab it, and he's just too damn quick. And then if you touch him, the thing with Kyler Murray is how he always slides super late, right? Like he gets the maximum, like when he's scrambling, he gets the maximum amount of yards, and then he slides, something that Trey Lance has not done. Trey Lance has not slid one time, not at North Dakota State, not with the Niners, not yet. Hopefully it'll happen at some point. But Kyler Murray gets maximum yards and then gets down right before the player's about to tackle him. And we've seen it in the past where he's sliding late, our guy hits him, and then it's 15 yards. Like that's what pisses me off about Kyler Murray. And then he's begging for flags. Like Kyler begs for the flag. Oh, can't stand Kyler Murray. Really good player, but I can't stand him. Yeah, the D-line needs to eat. And we tell you, the Bears are going to take shots down the field at these DBs. I'm telling you, whether it's to Mooney or Allen Robinson, and we better not get multiple pass interference flags called against us. I mean, we lead the NFL in pass interference yardage. Cut it out. I'd rather have him catch the ball. Like, at least they're making a play. Like, we're just giving him free yards because we're mugging these receivers 40 yards down the field. We need to see a lot more Trey Sermon the rest of the year. The carries he's had the last couple games, and that he did have a carry, he's looked good. Yeah, limited touches, he's averaging over 4 yards a carry, but we want to roll out JaMychal Hasty, who was just activated off IR. Do you see Kittle being traded in the offseason? Can't keep him at that salary and not on the field. Well, let me tell you something, Kim. Why would a team trade for him? I mean, we just made him the highest paid tight end in the NFL, and the guy can't stay on the field. And even when he was, he hasn't been electric. You know, the couple games he did play. So I don't think any team's trading for him. So what? To answer your question, no, I don't see him being traded. He's going to be a Niner, and he needs to find a way to stay healthy. It did, Lotha. It looked like it. Yeah, AJ Green thought it was a run play, which is unacceptable. Is Dre Greenlaw a trade candidate? I see he's regressed since 2019. Man, 2019 he looked good too with all the clutch plays. But let me tell you something, Kim. I've always been an Azeez Al-Shaair guy. I've always liked me some Azeez Al-Shaair. Go ahead. Search on Twitter, Bay Area Baller 18, Azeez Al-Shaair. You'll get some shit coming up saying that we need to play this guy. Azeez Al-Shaair's good. Even when he was an undrafted rookie and we had him in the preseason and he was on that roster bubble where it was, is Azeez going to make the team? And I put it out there. I said on Twitter, Azeez needs to make this team along with Demontre Moore. But I really like Azeez Al-Shaair. He's got a concussion. He's questionable for this game coming up. So that'll be something to watch. The linebackers. We know Fred, but if Azeez is unavailable and Greenlaw is unavailable, then someone's going to have to step up. Whether it's Flanagan, Foles, you know, we'll have to see. Keep your eye on the 49ers linebackers. Do you believe that Seth Wickersham story on the Patriots possibly offering a second for Jimmy? I do like Azeez. Okay, I'm with you, Kim. Yeah, so if we could get something for Dre Greenlaw in a trade, I would do that because I like Azeez. I think Azeez is just as good as Greenlaw. I think they're both solid number 2 linebackers. Good, really good number 3 linebackers, solid number 2 linebackers. But as far as the Seth Wickersham story, look, if the Niners turn down a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, that's a fireable offense. Because you know me, all offseason I was telling you, Jimmy Garoppolo has no trade value. He's mediocre and he's injury prone. And that has been the perfect this season has been the perfect culmination of who Jimmy Garoppolo is, right? He's actually played even worse than mediocre. He's played bad. He's played bad, flat out. So, and he's been injured. He injured the calf, missed the game. So it's like this season, you're getting the perfect culmination of who Jimmy Garoppolo is. Not very good and injury prone. And we could have traded him for a second-round pick. Like if that's why I don't think we were offered that deal. Because if they didn't take it, that's incompetent. And I don't want to think John Lynch and Shanahan are incompetent. Especially when you know you're drafting a quarterback. You're drafting a quarterback at pick 3. So you're going to turn down a second-round pick for your mediocre veteran? Like, it makes no sense. That's why. And I think Rappaport came out and said no. Like, he was pushing back on the report. But let me tell you something. I did read that Seth Wickersham, you know, that whole ordeal that he put out a few years ago with Jimmy Garoppolo and how that whole scenario played out where Bill Belichick wanted to make Jimmy Garoppolo the quarterback in New England. And, you know, Robert Kraft and Tom Brady's like, you guys want to start Jimmy over me? Like, and then Robert Kraft was like, no. Kraft had to step in, was like, no, We're sticking with Tom Brady. But hey, you know what? I got my next man in line. I think he's going to be my last caller because I'm hitting that 55-minute mark. Unless someone else hops in, maybe I'll keep it going. But let me get my man Waruna in the chat.
Hey,
What's up, Waruna?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. I don't need to I've been putting the overlay up. You know, we all know what happened to, but you know what? We're Waruna. We're good, man. I want to see your face. Hey, Waruna, hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. Because you had some contradictory tweets today. You contradicted yourself, Waruna, and I'm calling you out because I'm putting you on the hot seat, all right? So when Zach Wilson was struggling earlier in the year, right, the first few games, and you're ripping me to shreds, rightfully so, because I love me some Zach Wilson, but he's played like shit. There's no way else I can say it. And you were beating me up, and I had to take it, right? And then today, Waruna, I see you preaching patience about Mac Jones. Oh, let's wait to evaluate these quarterbacks. I'm summarizing, so I don't want to misquote you. But I remember reading some tweets today saying, let's wait on Mac Jones. The jury's not out. Let's give him 2 to 3 years before we evaluate. And I'm thinking, all right, Waruna, you just ripped me to pieces for Zach Wilson sucking. And now you're saying to preach patience. Which is it, Waruna?
Okay, so the initial tweet was like this. Initial tweet said, there was something like today, would you trade 2 first-round picks and Trey Lance for Mac Jones, right? That was the first tweet initially today. Then there was the second tweet came out, okay, Mac Jones is right now the best quarterback of this draft. And there was another follow-up statement saying, what if Mac Jones wins the division? So my answers was based on that. So I said, don't just jump out and say Mac Jones is the best quarterback came out of this draft. Just give a couple of years to evaluate all these quarterbacks, because remember, I mean, Mac Jones is not going to win that division unless Josh Allen decides to go the Andrew Luck path, retiring early.
That ain't happening. No,
So
that ain't happening.
it's not
Josh
happening,
Allen's
right?
built different.
So that's what I'm saying.
Andrew
right?
Luck was sick. He was a great quarterback, but
Yes.
I mean, this guy went to Stanford. He's smart as hell. His pops came from money. Like, he doesn't need the NFL, and he was just getting beat up. Hey, Waruna, I got an Andrew Luck story that I got to share with you.
Okay.
All right, me and my buddies were 21. My buddy's 21st birthday. We go to Tahoe. All right,
Okay.
and we're up in Tahoe. And we're getting in line to go to this club. All right. Mm-hmm. This club in Tahoe. And the line, I kid you not, it was around the corner. It was long as hell. Okay. All right. And it's my buddy's birthday. And we're like, dude, we can't wait in this long ass line. So we go talk to a couple of my buddies to go. We talk to the bouncer. We say, hey, we got 6 dudes. We don't want to wait in this line. How much does it cost to skip this line? Right. And he goes like, oh, $40 a person. Right. So we're like, done. Whatever, we're in Tahoe, right? So all of us put in $40, right? This bouncer's happy as hell, just made a killing off of us, right?
Yes.
So we're cutting the line, and as we're cutting this line, my buddy starts nudging me, and he's like, dude, that's Andrew Luck. And this was at the point, Andrew Luck, he's waiting in this line. Andrew Luck had just turned down the opportunity to go to the NFL draft. Oh, and he went back to Stanford for his senior year. Like he was the number 1 quarterback his junior year. Would have been the first pick, but he turned it down to go back to school, right? So this is right in between where he had just turned it down to go pro. He was going to go back to school, right? And my buddy's nudging me, dude, that's Andrew Luck. And I'm like, I go to the bouncer. I'm like, dude, this guy can't wait in line. Do you know who this is?
Yes.
And the bouncer's like, oh, no, I don't care. I got your guys' money, right? So we got in. Anyway, we got into this club, and eventually Andrew Luck made it in. And I had some small talk with him. I didn't know what the hell to say. But my buddy who played high school football, shout out to Birdman, he's got the most memorable story of the interaction with Andrew Luck in this club. Because my buddy Birdman, also played high school football, right?
Okay.
Just some high school football. And he doesn't follow college football at all. He didn't even know Andrew Luck was, but we're all talking about like, whoa, that's Andrew Luck. He goes up to Andrew Luck and is like, hey, I heard you play football, right? and Luck's like, yeah, I do. And my buddy's like, so do I. That was it. After that, I was embarrassed. I'm like, my buddy, he's making a fool out of himself with this superstar quarterback. But anyway, I had to share that story because
That's
I
a
haven't
great
met too many,
story.
I haven't spotted too many the pros or celebrities out in public, but that was one of them.
That's a great story.
Yeah, thanks.
So basically, coming back to the original, the Twitter,
Oh,
what
yeah.
I meant to say was Mac Jones, he doesn't do anything that is like stand out, special. So just wait couple of years. Josh Allen took around 3 years to develop to what he is today. Even this year, he is much developed quarterback than last year. His decision making is, I mean, way better than what he did in the last year. Playoff rounds. So that's
Josh
why
Allen,
I'm
he
saying.
keeps getting better and better, this guy, Josh Allen.
So that's why I'm saying Mac Jones, he might look like, okay, he's the perfect fit. We could have, 49ers could have won with Mac Jones right now, but don't, what you call, jump the gun to judge these quarterbacks, because you have Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. It's his first year. Then Trey Lance, he still didn't even get first team reps, support from his coach to build up his career into the NFL level. Then you have, Justin Fields, not sure how he is going to pan out, but still he's out there. So there are
We'll find out. We're going to get a look at him on Sunday, Waruna.
Yes. So there are still 4 other quarterbacks who are going to, I believe, maybe at least couple of them will eventually surpass Mac Jones and show out, okay, why we were picked ahead of Mac Jones and why we are in this league. So that's what basically I was saying.
I got you. I know. We have our banter. But I saw that, I was like, interesting. Now he's preaching patience. But earlier, no, I got you. Hey, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones has looked good, but Trevor Lawrence is also picking it up. Trevor Lawrence is kind of becoming the guy who we thought he was going to be.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
By any chance, Trevor Lawrence went to a team like, I don't know, some decent enough team, not Jaguars, he could have done much better by this time. Look what Joe Burrow is doing. Who would have thought? Right now, they are leading their division, right?
Yeah, AFC North.
Yes. Yeah. He is playing pretty well. Last year, he had that injury and his offensive line was terrible. But even initially this year, he had that mental downfall. He was a bit reluctant, but by each week he grew in his confidence, and now he's playing very good football. Probably in another couple of years we are going to have a star-studded quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, hopefully Trey Lance,
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
It's possible.
Yes, and I still haven't give up on Justin Fields, just because the team he's in, maybe in a couple of years, he might be, as we can say, maybe not top 10 quarterback, at least if he can make it to like top 15, 20 quarterback, I think that's good enough.
Not with that head coach over there. That coach Nagy in Chicago, I'm not a fan of this guy, Matt Nagy.
Yes.
It won't be with him.
Yes. They need a new coach. So there are some very good quarterbacks, young quarterbacks. So even Kyler Murray, people take cheap shots at him, saying he's a running back who's playing quarterback. He has 7-1 record to show it. Does Jimmy have a record like that? No. So So that's it. So he can deliver it. So I mean, people say uh, he gets injured during the latter part of the season. That's fine. At least he has something to show off. Does Jimmy have that? Jimmy start to miss games at the beginning of the season. That's one part of. That's why in Twitter. That's why I um, try to troll people instead of arguing with it, because in certain situations 49er fans live in 25 years back into the past. They think this is the team that won 5 Super Bowls, which is clearly not. This is a team in last 20 years have a record in regular season under 500. Dallas Cowboys have a better record than us. Cincinnati Bengals have made to playoffs 7 times in last 20 years compared to 49ers 6 times.
I know,
And
Waruna, when people think 49ers, they think about this prestigious, all these accolades and Super Bowls, right? That's kind of the generalization of the 49ers. But Waruna, I was born in 1990, all right? I was 4 years old the last time we won a Super Bowl. I don't remember it. But what I do remember are the 2 Super Bowl losses, right?
yes,
Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. So it's like from my era, we're trying to get over the hump. I haven't celebrated a Super Bowl. I've celebrated some Golden State Warriors championships, some San Francisco Giants parades, went down there to downtown SF. It was a blast, but not the 49ers. And that's why we're hungry, man. We're hungry, and you can see we're getting antsy. That's why now you're hearing fire Shanahan, fire Lynch. We're tired of it. We want to win. And this thing, it looks like we're headed in the wrong direction right now.
yeah, that's the reason, because unfortunately people act, what's the word, reactively. That's one thing I see in 49er fan base, as well as, except for Grant, most of these beat writers and media, they don't act proactively. I mean, the best example is after first 2 games, even though they were wins, we were saying this team is not heading towards the right directions.
They weren't impressive wins. They weren't
Yes.
wins like, oh, the 49ers dominated. No, that was
Yes.
not the case.
Yes, we never played comfortable football. I mean, as you said, a dominating football to say, okay, this team can do something. So when we said that, there was a lot of bashing on Twitter. I got like called out so many things. I mean, in my articles as well. So I said, okay, fine, okay. So the message was, okay, this team is 2-0. Okay, what are you guys complaining about? Fine, and see what happens. And I got really mad when these beat writers or whatever the media does not ask the questions, like Jimmy Garoppolo after the last loss. He said, NFL is a weird place. In 1 week you are up, next week you are down. If I was there, I would say, Jimmy, for last 4 weeks you were down.
We're down.
Yes.
We're down, Jimmy. It's not up and down. We've been down, 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 down.
So, so that's the problem we have. We are in denial. But I think it's a good thing, because I believe there is, what's the theory? So let's say if you are about to get over a breakup, what's the first stage? You are in anger, then denial.
Alcohol.
Yes,
no,
alcohol.
sorry.
Right? So there are multiple stages. First, you are in anger. I can't remember exactly which one comes first or second, but anyway, anger, denial, then you accept the truth, and finally move on. So we are in like the stage of denial. At least that's a good thing. At least now we are trying to just sweep it under the carpet. Some fans are already getting the message, okay, this is not what's going to happen. Look at what happened yesterday, the game. How that head coach called a game when he did not have his number 1 receiver. when you take out Devontae Adams, I mean, they have Aaron Jones, of course. It's like 50%, maybe 60% of the Green Bay's offense. But still,
Yes.
that team is winning against the number one team in an NFL, unbeaten team at their playing on road game.
Man, that's Aaron freaking Rodgers, man.
But Rogers started to throw regularly in the, I think, third or fourth quarter. Until then, it was basically the rushing game. They were trying to
Yeah,
get
it was.
something
It
here and there,
was.
something here and there.
It was.
If they have an opportunity, I mean, convert it to points. Just play smart football, situational football. Understand what comes your way, make it happen. What happened with our Cardinals games? We had a fumble. I think that was in third quarter. It was a 3-and-out. We had a good position to attack and score.
And we had 5 fourth downs that we went for. I mean, that's ridiculous. I think the stat last night that came up was the Cardinals had attempted 5 all year going into last. We had 5 in one game. So that, I mean, that's what, yeah, I mean, the 5 fourth downs, because when you don't get a fourth down, it's a turnover on downs. So, field position, you're not punting it. It's a turnover on downs. So, hey, Waruna, do me a favor. I want you to ask me a very specific question. I want you to ask me, do you think the 49ers will lose this game?
Yes. So my article is not published yet, but my score prediction was 2017 Bears win. If Jimmy plays, that's guaranteed. But
did you just say you got the Bears winning? Are we getting some inside info? You haven't published the article, so we're getting this info ahead of time. And Waruna, let everyone know you're 6 for 6 on your predictions this year, correct?
Yes. 6 or 6.
And tell me one more time, because I don't know if I heard that. Maybe it was a little fuzzy. Who is going to win this game?
Bears win 2017.
Hell no, to the no, yeah, to the no.
I've had that one in my back pocket. I've been waiting for the right time. No, Waruna, Niners are winning this game. All right?
Okay. You know what?
We'll find out.
I'm not proud about the record that I have right now. I would rather have a 2-4 record versus 49ers having 6-0 record.
I know.
So I'm okay to just compromise or tarnish my image just for the sake of 49er win.
I know. Well, I got to play my clip that I've been just holding it.
That
I've been
is it.
itching
That
at playing it. And you gave me my first. I'm gonna hit. The Bears are gonna win.
Hell no, to the no, yeah, to the no.
That's epic.
You like that one?
I do.
Waruna, you got any last thoughts? Because I'm gonna wrap it up. Anything you want to share with the fan base, or any thoughts coming up ahead of this matchup with the Chicago Bears?
Nothing much. Only thing is, it's really painful to see that the way this team is struggling. Sometimes it feels like, can the referees end the game like before the fourth quarter or third quarter? Just call it a win for the other side. Because, I I'll stop with a funny story. I played field hockey, so back in my country. So this was like we were playing under 15 junior level. It was a district level championship. We were in the semifinals. So that team was real good. That team went on to the nationals finals that year. So probably by end of first half, we were down by 4-0 and they were like they were leading 5-0, and referee stopped the game without playing full time. That happened.
In the championship.
This was a semi-final because there was
semi-final.
there was no point of playing because they were beating us super bad.
Okay.
We had no clue. We had no clue. So referees,
you guys were outmatched.
We were outmatched.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no competition over there. We were like, we did not have any clue what the hell is going on. Even our coach is like, okay, I don't know. So somebody please do that. At least I can get on with my rest of the day. That's how I felt during the Colts game. I mean, I'm just dragging your cast, but probably when Jimmy threw that last interception, instead of getting angry, I was just laughing.
Yeah, when he just airmailed it and it was a floating ball, there was 4 Colts players there. That interception.
Yes.
Yeah, that was terrible. I was already on my way out the stadium because
I was like, oh my god.
I was at that game, Waruna, and I went live at halftime. And the best clip I have from halftime, let me share it with you.
We're gonna need some new chonies after this game.
That was it right there. Hey, Waruna, thanks for coming on. I'm going to wrap this thing up. And I appreciate you sharing your prediction on this channel. As we know, you're 6-0. Hey, go ahead, Waruna. Shout out, because I know you've been working with the Genuine Draft Pod, right?
Yes.
Go ahead, shout it out, because I want that pod to get some more ears and eyeballs. Where can people find your podcast, as well as Ryan? I saw Ryan in the comments. Shout out to Ryan.
Yes. So Genuine Draft podcast. So Genuine Draft _SF is the Twitter handle. So we are talking generally football, not just 49ers. We are talking about all around the NFL. Not again, they talk NBA and everything. So there are multiple collaborators, and we invite people. So that's what we do.
Yeah, and I was on there. We had a great time. So shout out to the Genuine Draft Pod. If you made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Let my boy Shardal tell you. Hey, Waruna, thanks for coming by. Have a good night and a good weekend, all right?
Okay, you too. Let's hope it's 49 win.
Me too. All right, Waruna. Hey, fellas and ladies, thanks for coming by. That's all I got for you. I'm going to catch you guys next time.